Before the world knew the name of Caesar or the reach of the Silk Road, a single man rose from the dust of the Indian plains to forge an empire that would dwarf even the conquests of Alexander the Great. He was a boy born in the shadows, a shepherd who became a king, and a conqueror who chose to die as a monk. This is the story of Chandragupta Maurya, the shepherd emperor.
In the 4th century BCE, the Indian subcontinent was a fractured mosaic of warring kingdoms and tribal republics. In the east, the mighty Nanda Empire ruled from the city of Pataliputra, possessing an army so vast it supposedly deterred Alexander the Great's exhausted troops from marching further into the heart of India. Yet, beneath the surface of this power lay deep-seated resentment. The Nanda kings were seen as cruel, greedy, and of low origin by many of their subjects. It was in this atmosphere of tension and transition that Chandragupta Maurya emerged, though his own beginnings are shrouded in the kind of mystery that legends are made of. Ancient texts provide conflicting accounts of his lineage. Some claim he was a scion of the Maurya clan of Pepalivana, a noble warrior tribe. Others suggest he was the son of a woman named Moda, a servant in the Nanda court, from whom the name Maurya is derived. There are even stories that he was raised by cowherds and hunters, spending his youth in the rugged terrain of the Vinya forests, unaware of the destiny that awaited him. Regardless of his bloodline, history agrees on one thing: his meeting with a man named Chanakya changed the course of the world.
Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, was a brilliant but bitter Brahmin teacher from the university city of Taxila. Legend says he had been publicly insulted by the Nanda king Nanda and had untied his top knot, vowing never to bind it again until the Nanda dynasty was destroyed. While traveling through the village of the hunters, Chanakya saw a young Chandragupta playing a game called Raja Lukan with his friends. The boy was acting as a king, holding court and delivering justice with such natural authority and wisdom that Chanakya was instantly captivated. Seeing in the boy the perfect instrument for his revenge and his vision of a unified India, Chanakya bought him from his father for 1,000 copper coins and took him to Taxila. Taxila was the intellectual melting pot of the ancient world. Here, Chandragupta was molded into a leader. He was trained in the Vedas, in philosophy, and most importantly, in the art of war and statecraft. He grew up amidst the echoes of the Greek invasion, as Alexander's phalanxes were tearing through the northwestern borders. This was a masterclass in military strategy. Chandragupta likely witnessed firsthand the strengths and weaknesses of the Macedonian war machine, their discipline, their heavy cavalry, and their vulnerability when stretched too thin. When Alexander retreated and subsequently died in 323 BCE, a power vacuum was left in the Punjab and Indus regions. Chandragupta and Chanakya saw their moment. Their first attempts to overthrow the Nanda Empire, however, were disastrous. They initially attacked the heart of the empire, only to be beaten back by the superior numbers of the Nanda army. A famous folk tale illustrates the lesson they learned. Chandragupta saw a woman scolding her child for eating from the center of a hot bowl of porridge and burning his fingers. She told the child to eat from the edges first, where the food was cooler. Taking this to heart, Chandragupta shifted his strategy. He began consolidating power on the frontiers, recruiting dissatisfied tribes, mercenaries, and former soldiers of Alexander. He systematically dismantled the Greek satrapies left behind in the northwest, effectively liberating the region from foreign rule and building a massive, loyal base of support. By roughly 321 BCE, Chandragupta turned his sights back toward Pataliputra. This was no longer a ragtag group of rebels, but a formidable army. The ensuing war was legendary in its scale. The Nanda army reportedly consisted of 200,000 infantry, 20,000 cavalry, 2,000 chariots, and 3,000 war elephants. Chandragupta's forces, fueled by Chanakya's cunning psychological warfare and Chandragupta's brilliant field command, eventually breached the capital. Nanda was overthrown, and the Maurya dynasty was born. At the age of perhaps 20, the shepherd boy was now the master of the most powerful empire in Indian history. But the young emperor could not rest. To the west, Seleucus I Nicator, one of Alexander's most capable generals and the founder of the Seleucid Empire, was looking to reclaim the Indian territories Alexander had once conquered. In 305 BCE, the two titans clashed near the Indus River. The details of the battle are sparse, but the outcome was clear. Chandragupta forced a stalemate, or a decisive victory, that led to a historic treaty. In a remarkable diplomatic move, Seleucus ceded the territories of Arachosia, Gidrosia, and Paropamisade, modern-day Afghanistan and Baluchistan, to Chandragupta. In exchange, and as a gesture of goodwill, Chandragupta gave Seleucus 500 war elephants. To seal the alliance, a marriage was arranged, possibly between Chandragupta and Seleucus's daughter. This treaty established a long-standing peace between the Greek world and the Indian Empire, opening trade routes and diplomatic channels that allowed for the exchange of ideas, art, and ambassadors like Megasthenes.
Megasthenes lived at the Mauryan court and wrote a detailed account called the Indica. Through his eyes, we see a glimpse of Chandragupta's world. The capital, Pataliputra, was described as a magnificent city of parks, palaces, and massive wooden walls with hundreds of towers. The administration was incredibly sophisticated. Chanakya, serving as the prime minister, authored the Arthashastra, a treatise on statecraft that remains one of the most cold-blooded and brilliant manuals of governance ever written.
Under their leadership, the empire was divided into provinces, each with its own bureaucracy. There were departments for everything: trade, agriculture, weights and measures, and even the welfare of foreigners. Chandragupta established a massive spy network, ensuring that no conspiracy could take root. He built the Grand Trunk Road, connecting the ends of his empire, facilitating trade and the rapid movement of troops. Taxation was standardized, and the economy boomed. For the first time, almost the entire Indian subcontinent was under a single central authority, bringing a period of unprecedented stability and prosperity.
Yet, despite the absolute power he wielded, Chandragupta's life was one of constant vigilance. He reportedly never slept in the same room 2 nights in a row to avoid assassins. He was surrounded by a female bodyguard of Greek and Indian warriors, known for their loyalty and skill. He was a man who had won everything, but the weight of the crown was immense. In the later years of his reign, a severe famine struck the kingdom of Magadha, lasting for 12 years. The emperor, deeply affected by the suffering of his people and perhaps weary of the endless violence required to maintain an empire, sought spiritual solace. He turned to Jainism, a religion of extreme nonviolence and asceticism. He came under the influence of the Jain saint Bhadrabahu. In a move that shocked the ancient world, Chandragupta Maurya, the man who had defeated the Greeks and humbled the Nandas, decided to abdicate his throne. He handed the empire to his son, Bindusara, and renounced all his worldly possessions. He stripped off his royal robes, took the vows of a monk, and followed Bhadrabahu to South India. The final chapter of his life took place at Shravanabelagola in modern-day Karnataka. There, on a hill that now bears his name, Chandragupta lived a life of quiet meditation. In accordance with the Jain practice of Salikana, he began a ritual fast unto death. He didn't die in battle, nor was he taken by an assassin's blade. The shepherd emperor passed away peacefully as an ascetic, having conquered his own desires just as he had conquered the world. The legacy of Chandragupta Maurya is difficult to overstate. He provided the foundation upon which his grandson, Ashoka the Great, would build a reign of peace and Dhamma. He proved that the fragmented states of India could be united into a singular, formidable power. He created a model of administration that would influence Indian rulers for 2,000 years. He remains a figure of mystery because he represents the ultimate transformation. He was a commoner who became a king, a warrior who became a pacifist, and a ruler who realized that the greatest empire one can govern is the one within. His rise marks the transition of India from the prehistoric to the historical era, leaving behind a blueprint for an empire that changed the world. Subscribe for more.